Autonomy Quest. Today, you're with us in the audience, and it is the last episode of Autonomy Quest for this season. Season 14 has kicked off. We're looking forward to lecture number 2 tomorrow, and so many other events going on throughout the weeks, and we're taking a break from Quest. And to joining us for the last Quest as the guest is Colby Statchwick, and he's a season 9 graduate. And I've got Jerry Tappan riding shotgun tonight as the Quest co-host, and I can't wait because Colby is such a cool dude. I don't really know him that well, but what I do know is very impressive. And Colby, thank you so much for being here on Autonomy Quest. And just to kick things off, I kind of want to get to know a little bit more about you. You were in season 9, I was in season 10, and I want to know what the heck brought you to autonomy, and what was your life like before? What led you here? Why are you here, Colby?
All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot, James. I'm really looking forward to this. And oh man, I kind of suspected you might ask that question. I'm kind of wondering how far back do I want to, how far back should I go? Um, I actually, I didn't discover Richard Grove. I think I might have seen that one documentary. What is it? The one on high control groups.
State of Mind?
Yes, that one. I may have seen that, but I'm not 100% certain. But how I got introduced to Richard was like basically during COVID, or just before COVID, we had started homeschooling our kid, and because we had had not been going well at the school system, and we were like not doing great with the homeschooling, but we were just like, we didn't want to send him back to the crazy house, but like we didn't really know what to do because it was a major struggle. I had kind of heard of unschooling, and I had been following what is his name? Used to be the urban farmer, Curtis Stone. Off grid with I subscribed to Curtis Stone's channel since back when it was the urban farmer. And we're in Central Oregon here. I have just over an acre, and we've always kind of been into entrepreneurial activities and just seeing what we can do. And so that's how I, ran across Curtis Stone's content, thinking about, maybe doing some farmers market stuff here and whatnot. Kind of binge watched a bunch of his stuff and could tell that he knew what he was talking about, but kind of forgot about him. But then I saw something come up in his feed about talking about unschooling. And I was like, okay, well, I want to know more about this. So it was like him and his wife talking about their experience with it. And he was talking about, well, if you want to know more about this, you should check out Richard Grove. And I'm going to be interviewed on his podcast. And that was like, I believe in November. And like, I watched that episode of Richard, Grand Theft World. It was my first time seeing it, and like that, I was like basically hooked. And the next season, I'm pretty sure it was that I was in autonomy, and I can tell you, like that was like spending $5,000 was a major, or I don't actually, it wasn't. I don't remember exactly what it was, but like that kind of money, was like a major deal for me. Like I had never bought a course online or anything. Like I thought like online courses were scams. I mean, to some degree, like I had started a YouTube channel. I had been following I can't remember the names of the creators now. I don't even follow those guys anymore. I follow people that I learned about through autonomy. But a few of the people I recognize that other people are sharing their content. Just anyway, I knew that like creating a course was what I needed to do, like teach people about what I was trying to do. I had been in the industry, fire sprinklers, since 1999 is when I started doing that. But my experience, like, I had worked uh, directly for contractors and as as on the side as my own, like, never really calling it my own business, but like as an independent contractor. But my experience with many of these contractors was not great. Like, I didn't know any other way that I could make that kind of money, but like it was like very difficult to deal with that relationship. Anyway, I'm getting way too far off in the weeds. Let me bring it back. Bring me back home, James. Going back, okay. There's a lot I could tell you that led me to that moment.
Well,
Go ahead.
um let's go with when did you know that it was no longer an option? You had to get into the course.
Well, I remember Richard saying this thing. Like, I mean, everything he was talking about made sense to me based on what I was already, the rabbit holes I was already going down. But the thing that really stuck with me back then, we had they changed the name of it. What was it called? Obstacle course, right? And in the obstacle course, I remember very distinctly Richard, and this was like what did it for me. I knew he was right, and I was like, you it's a lot of money. You may not think you think you can't afford it, but can you afford not to do it? Like, how much are you missing? You know, how much money are you missing by not doing it? And that's 1,000% been my experience. Like, we have, uh, it's been an amazing growth since joining Autonomy, but there was many things that were holding me back with my mentality. Um, there's a lot of directions we could go. I'm not sure. What would you like to hear about?
Well, that's okay. There's always many directions you can go in.
Yeah.
And I think the direction we should go in is the just the epiphany moment where you just knew that you could do this, that it was no that I guess you know when your mindset changed from one of scarcity to abundance.
Well, I guess I may be a little bit unique in that I I've had kind of like an abundance mindset driving me since I was a little kid. Like, I've people have told me I can't do things and I've done them. Like, that's been like the definition of my character. Growing up, like, you can't just start your own business. Okay, here we go. You can't just rebuild your own engine or whatever. Well, why not? What are you talking about? Like, who says we can't? And like, but I got into this trap. One thing I didn't realize when I was before autonomy of this do it yourself thing, like trying to do everything myself because I could do pretty much anything myself. But like, it was, you can only do so many things yourself, right? And so like, didn't have that part figured out. That's what autonomy really held me to. I need to leverage other people's skills. And the thing that really I'd been missing all these years to be able to do that is basically communication. All of these things that we're learning about in autonomy are basically different forms of communication, right? Like, from building the course to just talking to people. Like, one of the things when I joined, I had like a good idea of how I wanted to build this course to promote my business, and it's happening a lot the way I envisioned it. But I also had this idea back then that, well, I'm going to come to autonomy and find somebody who can talk to people because I can't talk to people. And I'd say about halfway through my season, I was just like, oh, shit, I guess it's got to be me, doesn't it? I realize there's a certain amount of it, no matter what, is just going to be me to make this happen. So, like, today, I was cold calling uh, companies in Arizona with Cody Myrie. He's somebody who's gone through my course and he's trying to find work. And so we're calling down there to sprinkler contractors. And I had a bunch of great conversations with these guys, and I would have been totally petrified out of my mind to even attempt something, something like that before. It just wouldn't have happened, you know? And it was just like, no big deal. It was awesome.
Now,
Um,
before, bef,
did I answer your
bef,
question? I'm sorry.
no, uh, it does. I think that answers the question rather well.
Cool.
Before I kind of like throw it over to Jerry, because I'd like to hear some of the maybe a question or two from him. Um, and by the way, if anyone else has any questions for Colby, that'd be great. Colby's also heavily involved with Grand Theft World these days, but I just man, I always love hearing people's perspective of working with Rich and what they noticed about him that they weren't really that they were very surprised about, with I guess the amount of people that are enrolled in the course at any given time. I, for one, I love hearing people's perspective of that.
Um, I don't. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm following your question correctly, but
All right, I'll restate it then. I
okay,
want to
sorry.
know during your season, what was it like working with Richard Grove?
Okay, well, I guess I didn't really the first season. You know, I guess I did talk to him a little bit. I did step up, and I knew like the first night I was there, I was gonna have to, or I wouldn't. I'd be too scared if I didn't do it like the first night. So I did. I succeeded in that. Uh, and that was awesome. And I really didn't interact with him one on one too much until later on, probably a couple more seasons. But the first thing that was coming to my mind was actually like Rich has been great to work with, but also like I really wasn't expecting when I joined all of the people in the community, just like having all of these great relationships with all these people. I mean, like I'm still in. I mean, how? What are we in? Season 14? Did you say it was about to start? And I'm still in
13,
mastermind.
sorry.
Oh, okay, 13. I'm still in mastermind with people that I met from when I first got here. I'm still meeting new amazing people here every season. It's just like I don't know why, but like that part of it when I was signing up for it never really I never really pictured that part of it, as being so beneficial, but that's been kind of like all an amazing part of the process, just all the amazing people here to be able to bounce ideas off of, get feedback, and all people that are all cheering for your success, those types of things. I mean, Richard really creates that kind of environment here, I would say, right?
Oh, absolutely. I would agree. I mean, you're what you said about communication skills and being on camera kind of gives me the impression that you might be more of an introvert.
Oh,
And
100%.
yeah, well, and the different activities and all the integration exercises, it's crazy that you're still in the mastermind, the same mastermind that you were in season 9.
Well, it's not the same one, but it's I think that one started probably about 3 seasons in, and but there's people in it, who are from older seasons than me still. Like Michael Nimitz is in there, and
Sweet.
uh, so just in like Chris Jansen's here. Hey Chris, like we're working together. There's Daphne Romani also is from my season, and I've been able to work with her on projects. She's an architect out of Idaho. There's been quite a few people here that I've been able to work with. It's been a blast.
All those different things, man, they must have had an impact on that introversion, that shyness, camera shyness.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, one big thing that helped was the production of my course. One thing that in addition to going through, like, before I joined Autonomy, I had never heard of OBS, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, I realized what it could do for my course and stuff, and how it could help, like, doing. the work that I do, it's busy. I don't have a lot of time to do, like, as soon as I started making videos on YouTube, I was like, holy shit, who has the time for this editing stuff? You know, like, if using like OBS, the Stream Deck, all that stuff to be able to, I'm ready to start my course or record a video at any time, basically at the push of a button, is the only way I can do it. And so, like, I guess I'm probably getting lost again, but I recognized where I was going. I'm sorry. I just basically recognized that I was going to be able to get that from this. Oh, and then I took another course to learn. Oh yeah, you were talking about getting out of the extroversion. So I took another course about OBS to learn more about that, and that course talked about being on camera more. And I learned from like Myron Goldman, and which Rich introduced me to, and I think it was Hermosi also talks about being on camera in front of somebody like 7 hours before they're willing to purchase something from you, right? So like basically just furthering the study of stuff that I learned here, and realizing that this is what's got to happen, and then just practicing, like, uh, and there, yeah, I'll stop there for now because I can carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it all just starts with taking a chance on yourself and breaking out of that shell. And it seems to me that you've been a great success at doing that. And I still remember back in season 10, I can't remember exactly the meeting, but I do remember the instant where that a shadow host position for the lectures came up and you were like, I'll do it. And I was like, that Colby guy's a real go getter. I admire that quality in people, and you stood out to me at that time, and I'm very happy to have gotten to get to know you a little bit better this evening. So thank you. Um, like of course, Jerry's been waiting patiently. It's not typical of Autonomy Quest for us to have like a kind of like a real co-host situation going down, but I invited Jerry
Yeah,
here to do that very thing. So Jerry, take it away, man.
I just been, like you said, waiting, I suppose, for my turn to speak. I don't want to like just ask a question, interrupt. So, yeah, Colby, I mean, just going off of what James just said, that you volunteered for the shadow host position. Can you tell me a little bit why did you go that route?
Well, like I said, that's basically like just before that, I had heard about like from Richard and lectures, heard about OBS and knew, he talked about getting people to shadow host from as students. And so as soon as I think I'm pretty sure it was at that time you had to, be have someone who was already a guide, like kind of promote you or whatever. And so Daphne Romani suggested me they needed somebody help with shadow hosting, and I was in a mastermind with her in season 1, and she knew that I was interested in doing that for learning for my course, and so she threw my name out to them. Shout out to Daphne, thank you. And that's basically really what got the ball rolling. And so I just after that, just every time there's an opportunity that I could do, I just jumped on it.
It's really interesting. Did you know that you can make a living, let's say, off of shadow hosting?
Well, no, I mean, not, I mean, Richard talked about it and that got me excited. I understood what he was talking about with, like, he mentioned, if you get good at this and, find somebody that can sell 6 figures or whatever in a webinar, and then you can make a commission off of that if you can make a rock solid webinar presentation situation for them. That's lit up my ears about that. But really, the main thing, I just could see the value in being able to do all this stuff. Like I said, to be able to produce content on the fly, and like I actually, like I mean, I meet with guys who are contracting with me as designers, and I just press a button and show them what they need to do, walk them through things. Or I met with there's a, like one of my clients right now is a big memory care facility. It's like, I don't know, they're probably got close to $1 million worth of income coming into that place for old folks, and they're missing this plate that goes on their fire sprinkler riser that only I can produce for them, but it costs thousands of dollars to do. But I was able to get in a Zoom meeting with them yesterday and present all my evidence to what we're doing, you know, and just lay it all out. And they were super impressed. So like they don't feel so bad about all their money that they're spending now. There's just been all kinds of benefits. It's pretty amazing. Like, you know, similar, one of my clients has a question about a project. Okay, well, get on a Zoom meeting. Let's look at it. You know, let's just nail it down. It's been super powerful. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and you're also shadow hosting Grand Theft World. I think you're working with other people, teaching them how to do that. So now you're empowering others. So that's very amazing. You're like a pro at this point in time.
I don't
So
know about that, but I appreciate the sentiment. But I'm lifelong learner. You know, I think I've seen what can be done that's 10 times more advanced than what I can do, and I appreciate it and know how to, you know, understand the implications of what things are possible. You know, that's but we need lots of people. You know, if anybody out there wants to help with shadow hosting, like you said, Martin's got a course, pro streamer, and I'm trying to help him as much as possible. If anybody else wants to learn this stuff, that's the place to be. Did I answer all your question, Jerry?
well, I want to pass it to James real quick, but I just want to mention what he said prior to the intro, which is he said that he thought your logo was actually real, like on your wall. So yeah, there you go. That's OBS right there.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, I mean, yep, yeah, it's got. I guess I don't know if this is interesting. I have, like, when I do my course, also, or when I meet with the guys, whatever, I have a plan table over here. The light's not on, so it's not very bright, but I'll switch over real quick. Like, I can go to that table live and draw with a Sharpie on there and show them what I want changed or whatever. Switch it up to CAD. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just showing off now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, quit
Oh, I'm
showboating.
totally impressed. Come on now. I'm impressed because this is the best demonstration that I have been given on OBS. Like that you show exactly the capabilities and the possibilities of OBS. I haven't been given a demonstration like that, Colby. And like you said, Martin has this and this is what he teaches. But when he's trying to teach it, it doesn't show up the way you're demonstrating it. So I appreciate that. You're not showing off, you're showing the capabilities. Thank you.
Very cool.
And you should be proud of that, because a couple years ago you didn't have these skills and now you're using them to make money.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And it's just up to your game in life, you know. And it all started because you took a chance and said, yeah, I'm gonna do that thing. And look, man, what was it, 2022? You were just a listener to Grand Theft World, and now you're like the co-producer. You're producing it. You're there on the, live. The show wouldn't be able to go on without a guy like you. What has that been like?
Oh, well, man, it's been such a great experience. You know, I am I haven't really slowed down to think about it in the way I think you're suggesting, but but let's do it right now. It has been a great experience. Like, I'm always so busy. That's like part of the reason I signed up, is that I know I can learn this stuff on the fly as I'm practicing. That's how I'm getting good. That's all I'm concentrating on, right? Is like, I don't have time to prepare because 10 minutes before I jump on to GTW or whatever, I'm literally on a meeting with an engineer or a contractor or whatever, trying to get some shit out the door. So, and I apologize, I lost what your question even was again. I get lost in the weeds.
From listener to team member,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know, being like the
Everybody's
glue.
so
You're
supportive too. I have to like, you know, like I wouldn't be possible at a lot of other places, you know, like everybody is wants you to be successful. You know what I mean? Like you guys have experienced that here, I believe. That's a big part of it, you know? Like just people wanting to see you succeed. I believe that makes a big difference.
and you say you get that out of the community of autonomy.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, Colby, I relate with you on this topic because I too was just a mere listener of Grand Theft World, and now I host the town hall. So for me, it's been uh, quite a cheerful experience.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can contribute more. I mean, I appreciate you saying that I'm stepping out of the what do you call it? Not the I can't remember the word. Not shy, but whatever.
Introversion.
Yeah, introversion. This, but trying to just figure out. Also, I would like to, you know, have some sort of contribution to this freedom movement. We are all trying to help, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where I fit into that and how I can contribute to autonomy in Grand Theft World in that way. I haven't spoken out a lot, but my wife and I want to kind of make a kind of sanctuary to help people that have kind of gone through leaving a high control religious situation. It's something that was kind of holding me back for all the years with my business and stuff. But basically, after about a year after joining Autonomy, I woke up from my wife and I from the religion of our birth that was kind of holding us back in many ways, and that's been a big part of what's helped things move forward too here. I don't really know what I'm trying to say there, but
I think
Well,
it's important from time to time to really do a little self-reflection and recognize one's own growth.
totally.
I
What?
just wanted to touch on that for a second there, Colby, because I understand. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but leaving that kind of religious experience or upbringing is walking away from a very huge community. And that's kind of like a part of your life and who you are and your identity. So for you to be able to do that on your own with your wife, and then again be able to turn around and provide support to others who are wanting to do the same, that's beautiful. And that's kind of like your passion. I could see that when you were speaking, that that's very emotional and meaningful to you. And thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's hard to understand if you haven't been in that situation, you know. It's like the background that we come from, it's like if you leave the tight knit group, you're basically out on your own. So like our entire support network from both of basically our entire families, like, and you know, basically all our entire friend base was in this group, and we just kind of now we don't have that. But autonomy gave me the confidence and the skills to not, you know, be too worried about it. More concerned with moving forward in truth.
Well,
Well, if I
embracing
may,
it. Yeah.
if I may, and I think that you deserve a little bit more credit. I don't think autonomy gave you those things. I think you always had them, and something about taking a chance on yourself brought those things out.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's sure. Richard, you know, and Autonomy really helped me bring together a lot of things that I was working on already, for sure. I would say it was like we were talking about earlier. It's a place that facilitated me to blossom, I guess, with all of these things, with my business, because I had the right people around me to be able to help me with these things, bounce ideas off of and whatnot.
Yeah, because autonomy is not really for the people that don't already have that inside. You know,
True, absolutely.
you don't get into autonomy. You don't get that far unless there's that latent kind of ability or desire to grow. Stagnant people don't really make it past the front door.
Right. Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? Only people that are ready to be helped can be helped.
Yeah, that's a saying in like drug addiction and alcohol recovery circles. Is you can only help those who want to help themselves. You know, so everything else is a fool's errand.
Yeah.
We got a question in the chat by Chris Jansen. It reads, this is for you, Colby.
Okay.
For someone new to entrepreneurship, what is the biggest obstacle to making it on your own or starting a business?
Man, I bet you that Chris Jansen has something in mind that I've told him that I'm not going to remember right now, but I'll try winging this here. I mean, I think that you have to fight against everyone that tells you you can't do it that way. It's a lot of, you know, it's one of the reasons that autonomy is great is without a place like this, you know, basically a lot of the entrepreneurial stuff I was doing, I was really on my own. It's hard to find people that are of this mindset, you know? Like even my parents thought I was crazy for having my own business, even though I've had, you know, I've been doing it on my own for like 25 years. We've never been like doing as good as we are now, but the whole time they're always like, "Oh, are you sure you want to be doing that? Like, shouldn't you go get a job, or wouldn't that be safer?" All those types of things. But yeah, I think that's the loneliness of that, of having to it's not necessarily just loneliness, but the fact that there's a lot of people telling you you can't do it, having to work against that, the psychology of it is really the most difficult thing. Let's see. And man, Chris Jansen, feel free to drop in and remind me of whatever jam I'm not remembering with that I shared with you before. I guess one thing I'll mention that before I found Richard, the thing that was really helping me with my business, and it's partially why I guess after finding autonomy, it's helped me to amp up things so quickly, because I had kind of been creating this structure in my business based on the book The E-Myth Revisited. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with that, by Michael Gerber. But basically in that book, he talks about these 3 different positions that when people usually start a business, like the E-myth is the entrepreneur myth, right? Like you think of like a typical tradesman, you know, like I'm working in the fire sprinkler industry, like a sprinkler guy or a plumber, whatever it is, you know, he's making like $35 an hour. And then he finds out, you know, his boss is, you know, charging $95 an hour for when he's there. And he's like, I'm getting ripped off, you know, like I could be, I'm going to go out on my own and I'm going to charge, you know, $45 an hour and make good money, or $50, just whatever. But they don't think about, all they're familiar with is the technician aspect of the business. They're not familiar with the manager and the owner who has to do the marketing and the taxes and all the other aspects of the business. A lot of stuff that we've been learning about in the modern electronic world from Richard, how these modern marketing things are. But people don't think about that in general when they go out on their own and start a business, and they generally compete for the bottom dollar. Bidding on price is the fastest way to put yourself out of business. But I guess just not remembering all the aspects of the business when they're starting their own business, like there's more to it than you think. But then just also the psychology of people telling you that you can't just start a business. Those are two big things to me, obstacles for starting in my mind.
Yeah, it brings to mind the classic crabs in a bucket. Maybe it's cliche to say that at this point, but that's what you're describing. That's comes to mind to me. People's own fear being projected out, and they're trying to stick it to you too.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. You come across that a lot. I mean, even now it's interesting. The way that I am teaching my course is kind of unconventional in the industry. And so I get a lot of that. Some of the people that I talk to, sometimes the response is like, what do you mean you're not using this program or whatever? Or, they all they know about is there's just one way to do it. And if you're not doing it that way, you must not know what you're talking about. But I don't know. I think that the fruit of my labor is more representative of what you should be looking at. But whatever, if you worried about the tool, then I don't know. Anyway, it's part of what I am teaching these guys is how most of them use a software that's about $5,000 a year, and I do it with mostly free software, so they don't even know that's possible.
Colby, I didn't get a good grasp on what you do. I'm not familiar with shadow hosting. Does that tie in with your CAD work?
Oh, well, it helped me to create my course. Basically, what shadow hosting is, they're talking about is I produce the lectures on Friday nights for Richard. I'm playing all the videos and those types of things. Whenever you don't hear or see Richard, I'm the one that's making that content appear. And that skill just helped me with producing my course, which is teaching it's fire sprinkler CAD basics. So it's aimed mostly at fire sprinkler contractors who have barely any computer skills. Just teaching them just super basic stuff, which is great and easy for me, and they love it because there's no one out there doing this. There's only people teaching you how to use the advanced stuff, and they charge thousands of dollars and expect you to already learn lots of things or already know things before you come. But yeah, my basically this may help. My business, MCAD, is we provide document services to the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. Our main focus right now, though, is on providing documents to the fire sprinkler industry, because it's a weird niche that I just happen to know because that's what I started in back in 1999, and there's not a lot of people that do it, and it's pretty easy to do actually for the basic work that I train, and there's a big demand for it. Don't have to have a degree or anything, and yeah, anyway, so it's just drawing dots basically and connecting the dots.
And then the hosting video stuff just help you with a new way to kind of connect with your clients.
Yeah,
make that easier.
Yeah, I have a course that I produced on Kajabi, and I've ran it 2 times now, and so I don't know. This is a slide. I had. Let me see if I can get back here through my slides real quick. Oh yeah, just teaching about sprinkler CAD stuff. I've totally. You guys hold on just a second.
It's a fantastic conversation.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. All right, I apologize. Where did I did I answer your question? Probably not.
Looked like you were just about to walk through with some graphics on kind of more of an explanation of a breakdown of what you're doing with these guys. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my slide presentation. This was my week 8 slides, and just introducing here people to CAD. Let me see if I can see this one better over here. There we go. And so there's my beautiful wife, my buddy Chris Crosco, and Martin Carl. You guys recognize him. He was helping out. And I just go through and talk about these slides and be on screen. And I can't remember. This is week 8, so I don't remember what we were talking about on the last week. Finalizing your plans to be able to submit to the city, the authority having jurisdiction. And here we had, every week we had a workshop that Chris Jansen worked on, where he was drawing stuff in 3D, a little extracurricular thing we were throwing for people. And then we just walking people through the Kajabi course, how to get into everything here. I don't think there was really a lot of CAD learning this week. Let me see if we was just really like wrapping up, talk about using a standing desk and getting a scroll wheel mouse, just being comfortable, just walk people through our process. A big part of all I'm teaching is like, it's very few CAD commands and just like our process of how to work through a job, like from beginning to end. It's really just super basic stuff, just teaching people like how we do it here. And so it's just funny because I'm training people to work for us, and they're paying for it to take the course. And as soon as they're done, they could work for us if they wanted to. But this is basically at the end of the course. This is the document that they produce to be able to turn in for a permit. And I provide them with the CAD files for this, and they can do it with free CAD software called NanoCAD 5, which is an AutoCAD clone. Oops, it's compatible with 2013 edition of AutoCAD. The only difference is it's not compatible with the newer edition. But so like I have lots of people that take Cody Myrie just took the course, and he used the free program, and then he's been able to do some jobs totally with free software, making a plan just like we showed there.
Right on. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Wow, introvert to teacher. That is quite a leap.
Well, actually, there's an interesting, I would say, I also was kind of sick of my work, now that you mentioned the whole teacher thing, and that I found that I enjoy teaching people about it, though. Like the work, I'm just like over it. I've designed every sprinkler system out there. Like who cares? Like they're all, it's just lines and piping, whatever. But people like doing it for the first time and figuring it out and helping them through that process, that's like that's super enjoyable. And so watching other people learn how to make money through this method and just facilitating that has been a super enjoyable experience. And it made me have passion, or helped me to have passion for this thing that I was kind of like, it was like, any job you do for a number of years, after a while, it's like, beating your head against the wall. It's all the same, right? You've seen it. But I do have to say that this is sprinklers in general is a pretty interesting trade. It's for just having like a high school diploma. I went to community college because I didn't want to be viewed as like a loser. I figured I had to go to college for something, but I never finished. And somehow just kind of fell into this. Like a buddy of mine in high school that knew that I wanted to, like, I wanted to go to architecture school, but I was in like the middle class trap. There's no way I could afford school. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because like now I follow the architecture Reddit posts and stuff, and it's just nothing but people bitching and whining about how they can't make any money and stuff. But my buddy that was in my drafting class, like my high school had actually a pretty sweet drafting program back in the 90s on AutoCAD 10. And a buddy of mine that was in that class with me, his stepdad was a sprinkler contractor. And so like a year after high school, he remembered me and called me up to see if I wanted to come do that. And I think I had dropped out of community college a couple months before and like didn't know what the heck I was doing, you know, and I was like, well, hell yeah, I want to do that. It's better than, I think I was working at the auto parts store, you know, and I think he was like, oh, it pays like $10 an hour. And I, you know, like, which seemed like huge money in 1999 from a guy working at the auto parts store. And man, I just, kind of went with it. There was my boss at the first place that trained me. He told me, he's like, you know, there's guys that do this that are contractors and just work for several companies. And, you know, and I was like, oh, really? Well, I want to do that. And I think he totally regretted saying that, because like after like a year and a half, I started bugging him about wanting to do it. And he totally was like wishing he hadn't said it, but he finally gave in and let me go. You know, he paid me as a contractor to do these jobs. And part of the thing was like working in an office like that, there's certain things that I wanted to improve with our stuff, but they wouldn't allow me to do it because they didn't think the time was like valuable, you know, way to spend my time while I was there. But as soon as I went out on my own, I did all of that stuff, and I just knocked the job out of the park. And my boss was super impressed. So like after 2 jobs doing like that, he gave me a big raise to come back into the office and manage the office as well. And then anyway, I don't even know how I got onto that. I'm sorry, but somehow it's related to what we were talking about.
No, going from, you know, going from introvert to teacher, and now what you're teaching is helping people bring financial freedom to their own lives. It's very admirable.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. Thank you. Yeah, it's helped me have, and you know, we've never been rich because I didn't know how to, you know, put my offer out there like Rich has taught us. So like I always just worked with one client and was kind of suffered at their will when they paid and stuff, and just like did other work on the side that was not related to sprinklers just to get by. But like the sprinklers itself, this interesting work, it's given me a lot of opportunities just by learning a program. Really, it's really kind of crazy. Like besides working in that, in 2008, Oregon passed this law where sprinkler systems had over 4,000 square feet have to be reviewed by a licensed professional engineer in Oregon, and that had not been the case before. But that ended up me developing a relationship with this structural engineer, and then I worked for him at some point and learned a bunch of stuff about structural engineering and drew house plans and all kinds of stuff, like commercial stuff. And then like a little bit before autonomy, me and him had an opportunity, entrepreneurial, that really gave me a lot of confidence. We lost money on it, but anyway, this guy hired us to help him figure out this cabinet shop, a CNC cabinet shop that was in shambles, like had archaic software. Nobody could figure out how to make it work again. And the guy that was trying to buy it hired us. And so we sat for a month and a half and played with these like Windows XP computers that nobody remembered how to work on, and just got these old CNC like $120,000 machines that are now paperweights because nobody can get them to work. We just sat there and figured it out. Like And it was rad. Like, it was so much fun. Like, you know, like I had dreamed about playing with this 5-axis CNC machine. Like, I watched YouTube's videos about this stuff, but now I was like playing with like the real professional one, and they just were like, here, figure it out. It was like a kid in a candy store, you know. It was amazing. And we did. And the guy that was buying the shop ended up buying the shop and totally ripped us off. The guy he bought it from felt bad about it, and, like, you know, he compensated us to some degree. But the whole thing was just like an insane learning experience. Like, I was just like, realized, I was like, oh my God, we just went and just figured this stuff out. Like, basically churned a bunch of super expensive paperweights into a working factory overnight. I mean, it wasn't overnight, but, you know, in 6 weeks, whatever. It was collecting mothballs, and then when we were done with it, it could have been pumping out like 4 kitchens a day, like 24/7. Just like, it was amazing. Anyway, so that was like a big. I really don't know how I got down this. I'm sorry, guys, but that was a big confidence boosting thing that I experienced just before autonomy.
I want to remind anybody in the audience here that they are more than welcome to join in at any time. As we're moving to wrapping up, just gonna, in case there's anybody here that has not enrolled yet, I have a couple of links that I want to make sure that I send over in the chat. And there it is. Okay. What we have is a link to the Blueprint for Success strategy call, where you can meet with a graduate to kind of see where autonomy is going to take you. And then, of course, the autonomy primer, which is a kind of a sneak peek at what the course itself is like. And then the mindset lecture series that Richard has made over the years to try to help people break free from that scarcity mindset and get them to see in themselves what has always been there, in my opinion. So anyways, Colby, for real, man, like you are very impressive. I really, really mean it. I know for a fact that it's not easy to do the things that you do for not only autonomy, GGW, but then to also maintain your own personal life and all that stuff that you got going on. So whatever you're doing, man, it's working. Good for you.
I hope so. I mean, it seems to be going well at the moment. Hope I can keep it moving forward. Keep growing with autonomy.
So what's your upcoming plans, Colby? What's in store this year?
Well, we've got the next couple more iterations of the course that we're working on. I'm thinking we're going to announce it at the next, in July when we run the next version. We're going to announce the 2 iterations and ask for people who are interested, and we'll run whichever one we get the interest in. And man, also, well, we're preparing to pack up and move across country. we don't have I mean, within the next year, that's our plan, to move MCAD Studio 1 to a new location. Our daughter is in the middle of the country in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I have made some new clients out near her, and we're thinking about, I don't know if we're going to go that far, but we're basically going in September to visit her and check out real estate between here and there. And we don't know, to be honest. The sky is the limit, is how it feels right now. Everything that tied us down here before is no longer here, and we're trying to, we'll see what happens with the craziness in the United States. Who knows? Maybe we even want to head somewhere else, like down to Mexico and visit you, Jerry. I don't know. We'll see what happens the next year brings. We're really putting all options on the table. We're actually considering Mexico and Jamaica as well. We have an engineer that we've made contact with in Jamaica through the course that we've been talking about going down and visiting to check out some properties down there. So really the sky is the limit, and some sort of radical change will have happened, I suspect, in the next year of some sort, something big, I hope. I don't know. And I'll say that and we'll still be here, but I'm I'm hoping if I say it, it'll help it happen, because we really want to be out of here in about a year, basically.
Sounds exciting, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, who knows what the future holds. I have to tell you, it just seems like the possibilities are endless. Autonomy has really helped me put together. Yeah, like I have been working on a lot of these things for a while, but the way that Richard helps put it together and the community here just helps you to be successful. I really feel like the sky is the limit, man.
I have a quick question. So, is what you do, is that something that anyone can do from anywhere?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, we got a guy in Jamaica that's doing it. Just need a, internet connection to upload your files. We share files via Dropbox right now. We probably should, come up with a better freedom-oriented solution than that, but for now it's working. Waiting for Martin to get the whole what's the system you guys are new system going?
Nextcloud.
Nextcloud, yeah. Waiting for Martin to get that figured out so he can help me establish that over here to get rid of Dropbox.
Yeah, I might be interested in that. So maybe you want to give your plugin. I think we already saw MCAD, right?
Yeah, actually, I should have been prepared for this. Let me throw up something. Let me see. Well, I guess I would say check out my YouTube channel at MCAD Productions. And if you guys are interested in my course, let me find. Why didn't I have this ready? Let me find
Triggered your complexity there, huh, Colby?
Right? It's good.
Yeah, man. I think it just shows. I just think that it shows that you're a humble dude and you weren't expecting to plug your work today.
Well, I don't know. Is that what most people do?
No, no, but you're not most people.
Let's see here. Of course, when I go to do this, a million pop-ups decide to happen.
Doing it live, Colby.
Here we go. It's loading.
Yeah, dude.
All right,
Do it live.
So I don't have a good URL to share with this. It's the link. If you go to our YouTube channel, though, at MCAD Productions, this is my course that I'm promoting on all my videos, and there's a link there. It's on Kajabi. But Fire Sprinkler Simplified, Fire Sprinkler CAD Basics Bootcamp. And if you scroll down to the bottom, it's the sign up for the course. This is showing you get a CAD template that I have spent the last 20 years building for designing NFPA 13D sprinkler systems in houses. It's included. And you get an 8-week course that teaches you how to do it.
So I see Chris Carrasco, he's a part of your team. He speaks Spanish, so
That's right.
If you don't even, if you know Spanish, you can also, purchase this. Looks like. So,
Absolutely. Yep, that's right. Yeah, we actually we've been experimenting too with we have a Spanish YouTube channel. Chris has been like translating a lot of our popular videos just to kind of see what kind of traction we get over there. It's been interesting to play around with.
I I feel like you have grown into the best version of yourself, to put it simply. It's remarkable to see that, you are, that you see that things are, that you can do anything. It's amazing to see that, Colby. I just wanted to say, I see you, man. You're inspiring. You have a great work ethic, and I just wanted to let you know that. So, yeah, if anyone in the chat has any questions for Colby, this is the time. And if not, pass it to you, James.
I've got something.
Mike, what's up?
How you doing? So I know Colby pretty well. He's been a part of a mastermind that we are in together, and he's been through my ethical emergence course. Colby, the course that you teach and kind of the business that you're in, there is this kind of franchise model. I don't know. Did you speak about that? I got here late, so I apologize for that. But to
No, I
me,
really didn't.
this is something that I think is really very interesting about the business that Colby is bringing to the table here, and really kind of the ethics that you're also kind of demonstrating. I think you did explain a little bit about the idea of the E-myth and kind of those three areas of expertise. But to me, that there's kind of a franchise model in here, and I think that you're basically teaching a trade, and there's many trades out there that are kind of in the similar situation where like the old school is kind of leaving and the new school isn't showing up.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of opportunity in this area that I think is up for something new. And I think you've got that. But would you mind talking a little bit more about that?
Um, yeah, so I think yeah, so part of the reason I guess that I've been able to I was trying to say earlier, but I probably didn't get very clear that I've been able to have some of the success because I had already made this system based on the E-myth that I'd put a lot of work into. It still needs a lot of work, but I stepped into autonomy with this good system and was able to kind of plug people into it. And like what Michael's talking about, when I like in the E-myth, it describes creating your business as if it's a franchise, whether or not you plan to franchise it or not. Just because basically, if you want to scale, you have it ready to go. You really can't scale without doing these things. And so we basically have this system where certain types of jobs, like we have like one of the things that we have that contractors like that work with us is we have kind of like menu pricing that I've developed over the years, and not most designers don't have that. That I basically give them a sheet of paper and they can look at that and like kind of have a rough idea of what they're going to have to pay in design if they are bidding a job to put the sprinklers in it. And basically I have each part of this, when you work through the system, like it's a person who's in charge of every single aspect, and it's designed, like we were talking about, to be done by anyone, anywhere. And basically everyone that works with me are all just contractors. I like working with guys like Chris Jansen, who's, an entrepreneur and has other things going on. And be able to help him like kind of amplify what he's doing. Like he's already doing construction stuff, and I've been helping him with other CAD stuff as well, more complicated. Like everything that I'm teaching here for this sprinkler stuff is very basic 2D, literally just dots and lines. But with Chris Jansen, we've been having a lot more fun with 3D stuff and he uses that to like sell his work, you know, so he's developing skills to improve his own business. And along with that, I showed him, I've been working with Cody today, Cody Myrie. We were reaching out to sprinkler contractors in his area, but I did the same thing with Chris Jansen and taught him how I do that. And he was able to find a client on his own down there. So he's basically operating like, you know, MCAD Northern California. We don't have like an official franchise set up, but that is what I'm trying to like work it, like build it into, so that we can have all these people working from where they are that have their own clients plus clients through us. And, you know, it's like a franchise that they can buy into that, you know, says a certain amount. Oh, that guy was trained by, he went through the MCAD training process. Okay. Yeah. These guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
I
idea.
would just say that you know, that opportunity to kind of start as a technician, but really kind of graduate into being an entrepreneur is possible. And it's kind of graduated in a way like what you were saying about Chris, when he finds a client, now he can service that client. And if he can't do everything, you've kind of got him backed up, you know. So if he's got particular things that he can do those things. But then you've got all the other services that you provide. So there's like a big corporate company behind him that he can sell the other services to. And then as he gets more clients and kind of understands more, then he can even grow further. And he might actually then start operating more franchises and going into different places and foster. So I mean, it is I think a very interesting idea, and I'm looking forward to seeing you grow this into something much bigger. And you know, as those of us that are in the community, I think it's an opportunity to witness something really profound, because I also think this is also, you know, this transparency in regard to how you do business with people and kind of do it in an ethical way is also quite a alternative to the way that typical business is done today. So my hat's off to you.
Thank you. I also just mentioned too, it's like, it's a real niche industry that not a lot of people know about and has massive amount of opportunities. It's nothing but growing, and there's never been enough people in it. In the trade, people joke about how you either are born into it or you like fail out of everything else. Because like in the trades, it's like if you fail out of plumbing, you kind of move, or, you know, you usually start at electrical because that's kind of like the cream of the crop to be an electrician. And, you know, and then there's like HVAC and plumbing are a little bit lower. And then like, oh, I got too many DUIs. Who will take me? Well, sprinklers is always hiring. I mean, that's the kind of the way it's been. But anyway, I don't know how I got on that. But
It's like the island of misfit techs.
yes, I had a point that before I went to that, I apologize. What were you saying, Michael, that led me down that psychotic path? I'm
Well,
sorry, guys.
I'm not sure. I think it's just that, you know, the opportunities just continue to grow as you learn.
Oh, yes, thank you. That's what it is. It's just, yeah, there's like nobody who knows about this, and there's massive opportunities is where I was going. The International Building Code, which this is a whole nother conversation we could have, I believe, is pushing forth the agenda of other single or lettered organizations out there that we talk about. You know, the 15-minute cities and stuff. I have seen how this is going into the planning. Part of it though is that sprinklers are going to be required in everything. Like starting this last year, California just passed it, and everyone follows California. All new homes, all new buildings everywhere, period, that get built in California will have sprinklers in them. Not like this is like, that's not just the installing them. All sprinkler systems everywhere require annual maintenance and inspections. And so it's just like there's an unending amount of work of various difficulties and degrees in this industry. There's a big need just for salesmen in the industry, which is, we know, in autonomy, sales is super easy. All you do is walk around to sprinkler contractors and give them what they already need anyway. And like you can make 6 figures easily in sales and sprinklers. There's just a lot of opportunities.
Well, that settles that. I'm taking your course. I'm not joking.
Oh, good to hear. Let's do it.
You and I, James.
Yeah, you're gonna have an MCAD New Hampshire before you know it. There, Colby.
Excellent. Well, I mean, one of the things I also see, I really love what the stuff that's happening in the freedom community, but there's a lot of fear, it seems to be, of making money. And this is like a thing that's out there that we can do that can put us, I mean, I don't know, like we don't need to be afraid of making money, and it's something that anybody can do from anywhere. It solves, it's just it's a good opportunity for people. That was
Well,
probably
that's a beautiful message to wrap it up on. But I want to give one last final call to anyone in the audience that wants to add to this conversation. Maybe ask a question of Colby.
I have
Ask
a
a
question.
question about autonomy.
I got a question. I'm new to season 13. Colby,
Yeah.
I thought I had a real niche in wood window restoration because it's a very shrinking market, and at the same time, window prices have gone through the roof. But the EPA has stepped in and requires handling wood window restoration to compensate or consider all of the lead paint aspects. And I wonder if, I don't know how the two are related, sprinkler systems with wood window restoration. I don't know that they're related at all. But given the fact that you're in the trades and you see sprinklers requiring greater, if you will, control, or what's the word I'm looking for? How would you have any comments for wood window restoration with the EPA's greater restrictions on how you handle lead abatement?
Well, I mean, I would definitely look at it as an opportunity. The fact that, there's not many of you left, that makes it incredibly valuable. I'm curious, how do you find clients for that type of work?
Very archaically. I mean, just almost word of mouth, because just aren't that many people willing to do it. Older homes, historic districts, leave your name with the community, so that's basically how.
Yeah. So is there a common factor? It sounds like they're in a historic district that could be targeted. The people themselves, is there anything unique about them that you could target marketing to them somehow?
Well, my question is less to do with marketing and more to do with the fact that there's tighter restrictions, making it more costly. And I'm trying to figure out where to go with that. Do you see the EPA in your work?
Well,
or HUD?
So I was just, I mean, it's not the EPA, but it's basically like like I was talking to one of the clients I'm working on a job with is they mainly do sprinkler inspections, and I'm working on this project to help try and get the client in compliance. And it's so it's a similar thing. Like
Right.
there's rules that somebody can't follow or whatever, and the perspective is just like, look, it's not our rules. We're just trying to help you be compliant. I mean, I don't know if that's are you guys do you, I mean, you have to charge a lot. Charge your worth. Are you getting pushback on the amount or?
Oh, sure. And there's a lot of requests from the clients for grant monies from the cities. And it's just one big snowball. I mean, I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but Biden made a really strong case through legislation for the removal of all lead water pipes within 10 years in the entire country. So the lead paint thing has been around even longer than that. And now a window company can't change out a window without being certified to handle, as far as I know. So it's a new thing to me, the whole ability of having to deal with lead. And I just wondered if it was something you came into.
Oh, well, okay, that's so we actually have had that in Oregon for a long time. Like you have to if you just change out a window, like I've worked around construction quite a bit, and here if you just change out a vinyl window or an aluminum window to put in a new piece of crap vinyl window, whatever, there's a good likelihood that there's lead paint on the house right there, and you have to have certification and you have to suit up,
Right.
plastic down, that's a very common thing here in Oregon. So
Right. Okay.
that kind of surprise, like that's like new there.
Yeah. The
Like
enforcement.
we have to do that even just like if it's just a regular house, nothing special, it just was built back when they were using lead paint.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, my understanding is that the legislation got passed in 2010, but the enforcement is now becoming more stringent.
Well,
So,
I'm sure for like the federal thing, but Oregon, we love
yeah.
to do that kind of stuff way ahead of the curve.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. My question
But
wasn't all that germane, but I just thought I'd try to
I
find out.
guess that's really interesting. I'd love to talk to you about it more. My suspicion based on the experience with it here is that it's not that big of a deal. It's an opportunity because people like don't want to deal with it, but usually it's not that big a deal to know what to do and learn it. And if you do, then that just gives you opportunities that other people don't have. It's like that with there's painters here who, when those jobs come up, they just turn it down. I don't deal with it because there's so much work to not have to do it, when the economy's good. But then the one guy who has that cert, that's a one-man show that's out there taking advantage of those situations. We probably got quite a few of those.
Yeah.
There's always, yeah, I mean, I think that's really an opportunity. I could see how if it's new over there, it takes a little while to get used to it. I mean, it's all more, typical bullshit government rules that doesn't really solve anything, right? But it just
Right.
creates this new job that now all of a sudden somebody will need you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I would say, if you're doing it anyway, just learn as much about it and the situation of like, how you can take advantage of it. Be in the right situation to be the one that has that and, use that to your advantage.
Right. I guess I was wondering if there was some integral part of it whereby, like you say, it's bullshit. I mean, I was glad to hear you say that. It is bullshit because you you suit up, you tape off, and then you throw the stuff away in household garbage. So it goes to the same waste dumps, pollutes the
Yeah.
water.
I mean, the whole thing, my understanding with lead paint is because they just don't want us to have lead paint because the lead blocks out the bullshit they're trying to inundate us with. You know, it
Whoa.
blocks out the Wi-Fi signals and shit. So that's why we got rid of lead paint. What fucking moron eats lead paint?
Well, but there's a lot of babies that do.
Well, I think that that's been conflated. Like, I wouldn't let my baby eat lead paint. Like, I would not let my baby wander in a place on its own where there was lead paint available without being on top of them. I really think the whole, I'm not trying to, I think that the lead paint thing is bullshit.
Okay. Okay.
Well, on that note, we will we will
Sorry,
we will call it a night. You know, just because this is the last Autonomy Quest for this season prior to season 13 does not mean that there is not still time for anyone watching a replay of this to enroll. So get on that. If you think autonomy is right for you, there's still a couple steps left for you to make up your mind. And for everybody that's currently enrolled and enjoying season 13, so happy to welcome you guys to Autonomy. And we will be back with more Autonomy Quest in the future. Thank you, Colby, once again for being here this evening. Any last words for anyone out there?
Yeah, don't let your kids eat lead paint.
Christ. It's good advice.
Thanks, everybody. That was nice, man. Appreciate the conversation.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Ed.
Colby, I'll be in touch with you, my man. We got work to do.
Oh, I love it. Let's do it.
Right. Stay tuned.
All right.
Jerry, thank you for sitting in on this one too, man. You're a terrific co-pilot.
I got one more thing to say. Season 13 is the best seasons yet. You did a great job as well, James.
Thank you.
Yeah, both you guys. Thanks a lot. This has been great.
Well, everybody in attendance, thank you and good night.
Night all.